Chapter 9. Kelly, where are you going? Nancy asked. To work. Where else? Kelly replied. Aren't you forgetting that today we are supposed to be on a plane so we can be in time for Crystal's wedding rehearsal? Oh, that. Well, I decided we are not going. You will have to stay behind and take care of Hope for us. But, Mommy, I am the flower girl, Hope cried out. You can be a flower girl in another wedding. Now stop crying. Kelly, how can you be so cruel? And you promised Crystal you'd go, Nancy reprimanded. Well, she ruined my wedding day, so I'm paying her back. Kelly, the Lord is not going to be pleased with you. You know Crystal didn't ruin your wedding day. She couldn't help it if things didn't work out at that time, so you could have a double wedding. Now they have worked out for her, and you are going to ruin it. Listen, the Lord is on my side in this. He knows that I'm right in not going. Crystal is doing the wrong thing marrying that Jasper fellow. He'll only break her heart again. I'm doing her a favor. No, Kelly, you are not doing the Lord's perfect will. You are still being selfish and only wanting your own way. You've got a lot to learn yet about being in the Lord's favor. I guess you will just have to learn the hard way. Go to work. I'll take care of Hope. Kelly left for work, pleased with herself that she had gotten her way. She knew how much Aunt Nancy wanted to go to Crystal's wedding, and now she couldn't. Well, Hope, are you packed? Nancy asked. Yes, Aunt Nancy, but Mom said we couldn't go, Hope replied. Well, you and I are still going. I'll call a cab and he'll take us to the airport. Hooray! I'm going to be a flower girl after all. Ring. Hello? That you, Crystal? Nancy asked. Yes, Aunt Nancy. Where are you? I'm at the airport. Can you send Jasper to pick us up? But Kelly and Dan were supposed to rent a car. They refused to come. It's just Hope and I. You know I can't drive. Kelly refused to come? How did you manage to persuade her to let you bring Hope? I didn't. We came on the QT. Oh, I'll send Jasper right away. The wedding rehearsal went off without another hitch. Alex had made it home in time, and everyone loved Patty. She agreed to become a bridesmaid so Whitney could take Kelly's place as matron of honor. Kelly had called saying that if Aunt Nancy didn't bring Hope back immediately, she would press charges for kidnapping. But Nancy called her bluff and told her that she would have to come and get her herself. Nancy knew that Kelly wouldn't be able to get a flight booked until after the wedding, so Hope would get to be a flower girl after all. The day of the wedding dawned perfectly, and Donovan Black headed to the church, determined to get his liquor back from Jasper White. Surely he wouldn't be able to use all of it for his wedding. Donovan had not been able to replenish his stock since hearing that his supplier had had a fire that destroyed everything. It would take them months to rebuild, and Donovan couldn't wait for them to rebuild. He had also heard that other breweries around the country had suffered similar fates, and that would mean liquor would be worth a lot of money until they could produce liquor once again. Donovan was hoping that Jasper wouldn't know what a gold mine he had and would sell it back to him at a reasonable price, so in turn he could rake in a killing. Donovan arrived at the church and seated himself on the groom's side of the church. He had made it just in time. He had expected the church to be a lot bigger for the amount of liquor Jasper had bought. The smallness of the place made him even more sure that Jasper had overestimated his purchase. So Donovan settled back, sure that he was going to become a rich man that day. The ceremony began, and Donovan watched as the usual proceedings went on. There was the flower girl, ring bearer, and the bridesmaids coming down the aisle. The groom and his groomsmen waited with him for the bride to appear. There she comes, and she is singing. Love, you are God's gift to me. So happy I'll be for all eternity. A home I want to make with you. I say I do for today and for our whole lives through. Love, can this day be reality? That you and I will spend eternity. Our children will grow to love God's word, and King Jesus will be their Lord. Now the groom is singing the same back to his bride. Now they are singing it together. Donovan began to feel that this wedding day was not going to be like the ones he had attended in the past. There was the pastor speaking. Dearly beloved, we are gathered today to unite in holy matrimony Jasper White and Crystal Matthews. They have chosen today to say, or rather sing, their vows to one another. Crystal, you may now sing your vow to Jasper. Honey, I didn't think this day would come when you and I would be united as one. The tears I've shed are now all past, because I finally found a love to last. Eternity is a long, long time, but far beyond that you will ever be mine. If you ever doubt my love is true, honey, I'll sing again this song to you. Now, Jasper, you may sing your vows to Crystal, Reverend Goodfellow instructed. Let me love you forever. Let me lose you never. Let me take part in all your endeavors. Let me be yours forever. Crystal, you are my love forever. Don't ever doubt that fact, never. It took us quite a while to get here today, but now in my arms you're here to stay. Let me love you forever. Let me lose you never. Let me take part in all your endeavors. Let me be yours forever. Donovan looked around to see if he was the only one who was noticing that these wedding vows didn't seem normal. Where was the until death do us part in them? It was like they were expecting to live forever. No one lives forever. That was just a myth. Yet these two sang like they really expected to live what they sang. Was it really possible that one could find a love that lasted forever? There they were, signing the marriage register, and a choir was singing. Lord, this is the blessing you gave to the priests for your people a long time ago. We still need that blessing to live day by day and walk on the earth here below. Lord, bless what we do in our daily pursuits, for our efforts should glorify you. Our works are in vain if not done in your name, so help us to know what we should do. Lord, keep us from evil, temptation, and sin. It's so easy to slip and to fall. This world tries to lure us away from your voice. Please help us to heed when you call. Watch over your people with love day by day. We are always in need of your care. Please give us your peace in a world full of strife, and help us to know you are there. Lord, bless us and keep us, cause your face to shine on us. Be gracious and give to us peace. These are the things that we need to sustain us. Please don't ever cause them to cease. If something is keeping your blessing from coming, please cleanse us and make things all right. No one but you can bring grace and peace and help heavy burdens seem light. Donovan wondered who this Lord was that song talked about, but he couldn't take too much time to think about it, for there was the minister talking. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. Jasper White. Will you all stand and join the choir in singing them away on their new life, as one whom the Lord hath joined together, let no man put asunder. How are you going to do it? Will it come about? Since you really want it, you'll find a way, no doubt. Jesus in the garden looked down through the years, prayed for all the people his disciples would bring near. Then Jesus asked his Father, while he prayed that night, let them stay in this world and still do what is right. He knew that we'd be hated. We're a different kind. Knowing God is wonderful, we really should not mind. Since Jesus spent his time here, showing God to men, he prayed love would pass on to a world that needs him. As he finished his prayer, he prayed we would know that he cares for his disciples and he loves them so. He prayed, Father, make them one as you and I are. Let them have this fellowship, and let nothing jar. If they have this unity as you and I do, they will be one with us and with one another too. Donovan followed the rest of the congregation down to the reception area. When he looked at the tables, there was no liquor. After going through the service he had just been through, he was not surprised. But then, what was Jasper going to do with all the liquor he had bought from him? He just had to buy that liquor back. But how was he going to get Jasper alone? The opportunity presented itself when Jasper and Crystal were passing out the cake. When Jasper came by, Donovan said, "Jasper, can I talk to you alone for a minute?" "Why, Mr. Black, glad that you could make it." "Sure, I could spare a moment. Let's go out in the hall." Jasper and Donovan moved out in the hall, and Jasper continued, What can I do for you?" "You can sell me back that liquor you bought. My supplier had a fire and I need it back. It is obvious you did not need it for your wedding." "Well, you see, I can't sell it back to you because it has been destroyed." "Destroyed? What would you do a thing like that for?" "So no one could be tempted to drink again like I used to be tempted." "But what am I going to do for a living?" "You'll have to go do an honest day's work for a change instead of preying on people like me," Jasper said emphatically. "You're just keeping it all for yourself. I'll pay you back double." "You couldn't pay me 1,000 full to make me want to give it back to you. And like I said before, it has been destroyed. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go back to my bride. Good day." Donovan left for home in a state of shock. He just had to get back into business. But how? How dared Jasper say he didn't put in an honest day's work? What era was he from? The Stone Age? Liquor has been legalized for years. Jasper must be lying. He probably knew that liquor company had had a fire and it would be worth a lot. He decided he'd better stick around and follow him to see where he had stashed it. Jasper and Crystal said goodbye to their friends as they started their honeymoon. They decided to spend a couple of days in Egypt visiting the Great Pyramid. It had been a faithful witness to the Lord, showing those who understood its hidden meaning that the Lord had measured the times and he would not move nor stir them until the set time be fulfilled.